Well, I guess I came back. I guess you really want to know how I went from a kid to a gruff man. Well then, these next 2 episodes should tell you. We had just destroyed Pizza Cutter's base, and now we have set up a holographic shield around his area where he had conquered. We managed to drive out the remaining forces in the non-conquered areas of Neo City. But it didn't stop the invasions in the other cities. But for right now, Neo City was safe. Slash left to go take care of some business. Same thing with Quint, who managed to get the rest between in the main dimension and the dimension of the meme lords going again. Master of War came to me. Master of War, what is it? Pizza Bar, I think you might want to explain some things. This is all insane. What do we do now? My best bet is for you guys to stay in your dimension until we get things figured out. I don't think the world is necessarily in need of meme lords. We've already been through enough of a shock right now. By now, the world's gotten used to the wackiness of our world, but not this invasion. Understood. I'll go inform the ogre. Until we meet again. So the meme lords left. The dimension was sealed back off until Quint was given the proper message to open it back up. In the meantime, he went off to Neo Japan. And of one of the few countries he said had not been invaded by Pizza Cutter's forces yet. That he had already sent messages off to several world leaders in that country to go fix things up. Japan, once it became Neo Japan, was quite powerful, so it could be a great ally to Neo City. After all, it is the most biggest city in America, but it was in quite shambles after Pizza Cutter's initial invasion. After all, it's where the whole thing started. But the troubles weren't over yet. I was helping Cross and Jake set up a pool table within the Resistance base, as Pizza Cutter was still able to sneak some of his soldiers and drones into the city via the underground, known in sewers of Neo City. We tried blocking them off, but the machines are too powerful. It wasn't like the shields. These were old-fashioned chains, bricks, metal, stuff of the early 21st century, rather than that of 2072's tech, our present tech. But things were about to take a turn for the worse. So, where do you guys want to put this? Cross? How about in front of... damn it, Jake. How about over there, within the arcade room? We have an arcade room in there? We can't be constantly gruff and serious. We need to have some breaks. So I had an arcade room. I have plenty of arcade machines. And 4 years ago, once I got my spine and actually started to no longer be a wimp, I ended up actually investing plenty of money, since I had actually, surprisingly, was pretty good at selling lemonade. And actually made homemade lemonade. It was so good, people were willing to spend about $30 on it. And it was quite popular. So, managed to invest enough money to get several old arcade machines. And a lot of comics, particularly of Spawn. A man of taste, I see. We loaded it into the arcade room. I decided to play the original Donkey Kong. Jake was having fun playing Strider. Meanwhile, Cross was playing Street Fighter 2 and Vampire Savior a whole bunch. But then that's when we heard a crash. What the hell is that? Yeah, this kid's getting it. He's getting to the gruffness. But what was that? Thorn, Sarah, whatever the hell you want to be called? Yeah, got a problem down here. You boys, get up here, quickly. Down or up? Up, sorry. Confusion words. Get to the meeting room. You gotta... Come on, guys, let's go. We all quickly ran into the room. I quickly met up with Aqua, as we had to be specially put into special suits for it due to the fact that there was a chemical problem that made to where those under the age of 18 would instantly die within. And due to the fact that we were 13, we couldn't exactly do much. Aqua was the girl we had saved from Pizza Cutter's base, but she was far from her home dimension of the seas, so we were put into the suits and we were quickly brought to the meeting room. As in this situation, it was clear kids needed to be there too, as we proved ourselves to be mature. Which is something people of the past had problems dealing with, the fact that kids were just as mature as adults on some occasions, if not more. So what's the problem? I said. Quickly, Tidal Wave would answer. We've noticed that several of Pizza Cutter's forces have gone through the underground and are beginning to attack the junkyard. You mean her old home? Yes. Luckily, the junkyard was quickly liberated, therefore it was no longer blocked in the field, but clearly Pizza Cutter clearly has pride in it, it was where the invasion began, and where he launched Pizza Man up into space. So he's beginning to send his forces there. This particular set is led by Mecha Pizza, so it's gonna be tough. Melina quickly spoke up. I've also come into details of the fact that Black Boxer is beginning to attack at the local movie theater near it. It's trying to replace everything with broccoli that's really poison that will instantly kill those of normal Dilly and Nelly. In other words, those who don't have powers. We really gotta figure out a way to take away that weird rippling effect of y'all's voices. Well, certainly. You can't lips. Anybody else manage our business. Melina and Cross weren't exactly getting along at the time. Conflict of interests? Or maybe it was something more between them that they didn't want anybody else to know about. So they had to pretend to hate each other. That is for you all to know in the future. But things quickly got worse. We were split into two teams. One team to stop Brocka Boxer and squad, and another team to stop Mecha Pizza squad. Me, Aqua, Cross, Jake, and Tidal Wave were sent to take out Mecha Pizza's forces back in the old junkyard. Meanwhile, Sarah, Melina, and Coca-Cola. Seriously, what was his name again? I keep forgetting his name. It's like Coca-Cola version of Tidal Wave. He's also whatever. They were quickly sent there. Although they were a smaller team than us, they definitely held their own, especially due to the help of the hero Iron Strike and Count Dracula. Yes, that Count Dracula, who is now half human. I'm not quite sure the details of their story. Or at least I wasn't at that time. You'll have to figure out that detail on your own someday. Or perhaps already. But regardless, they were helping out on that front to even out the team. But we were having our fair struggles against Mecha Pizza. You cannot face me. I have destroyed thousands of buildings. I can crush you easily. Lost that deep robotic filter. Kind of speaking like a robot, aren't ya? Well, Chin Chan, know what they say. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. Cross said, as he quickly pulled out a rocket launcher and fired it, blowing off the drill hand of Pizza Cutter's top minion. He would quickly kick Mecha Pizza to the ground, sending him crashing. He would quickly charge, taking out several forces, but eventually ended with Pizza Man's old room in the junkyard, which was pretty big, being blown up. I was sad to see it happen, since it reminded me of the fact he was gone. But that wasn't important. We managed to capture Mecha Pizza and send him to our prison. Meanwhile, Sarah and her squad took out Brocka Boxer and imprisoned him. We were getting closer. Or at least that's what we thought. But then something bad would happen to me. But you'll have to wait for the next episode.